day, friends. It is me, HLModTech, and I am back in Tinkercad. This is a future car that a user asked me to design. I put it together, and now today we are going to upgrade it. So my friends, let's get cracking. Alright friends, so the first upgrade I want to have is a license plate. So I'm just going to bring out a box. I'm going to hold down shift and I'm going to squish it, and I'm going to tell you that a good number for a license plate is 6 millimeters. I'm going to make it thin like a license plate, and I'm going to make it a little shorter so it'll be a rectangle, and I'm going to make it gray. And then I'm going to just bring it over to my vehicle, and I'm going to hold down shift and select those two items. When I click align, I'm going to pick the car, and I want it to be aligned just like that, and I'm going to put it at the middle for a minute, and then I'm going to do that control down to lower it where I want. Now I don't want it sitting out in front, so I'm going to use the arrow keys to push it in. And then this is kind of cool. That's where I'm going to put it. But I'm going to cut out that same size as well. Although I'm going to go down one. No, I'm going to put it right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to hide the one that I just made. And then I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to stretch it with the black handle so it comes out. So that's going to get rid of all that area. But I'm going to make it a hole. So now when I shift click, two shapes selected, and if I group it, it'll cut out that area where that little license plate's going to be. Remember, we just have to wait because this bean is pretty complicated. So after a few seconds, that is available, and if I hit show all, there is my license plate. I want this to be rounded, so I'm going to put that number 2 on it. I like that a lot better. And I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller by switching to the 0.1, and I can pull it down so it actually looks like there's a little bit of room around it. Remember, if you make a mistake, do Control Z. I'm going to just lift this up so it fits in that area. And now I'm going to put words on it by hitting work plane, clicking on that area, and bringing out the text. It'll be huge, but I'm going to backspace, and I'm going to put roar. I'm going to make that blue. Although I'm going to make that a custom blue so I can get closer to the lion's color that I want. I like that. And now I'm going to use the black handles. This is important because it only goes one direction at a time, which makes it easier to get to that exact size that you want. It is going to be tiny, but it's going to be awesome. I'm going to look at it from a corner, and I'm going to change that thickness from 10 to 1. And then I'm going to use Fit View to zoom in so I can really line it up just the way I want using the arrow keys. And I'm going to actually make that all the way down to 0.5. I'm going to take those two pieces, holding down Shift, and select each of them. Notice it says two shapes. And I am going to group them and then turn on multicolor so that my sweet car has a sweet license plate. Staying back here on the back of the vehicle, I'm going to set the work plane to the ground, and I'm going to add an exhaust. So I'm going to bring out the tube, and I'm going to actually type the numbers. I want this radius to be 2, so that'll be the muffler coming through. I'm going to make it gray so it looks more muffler colors. I like that gray right there. Then, of course, I'm going to rotate it so it fits that way. Switch back to my 1mm grid so I can push it into my car. Do Control up to get it to the height I want. I'm going to hold down Shift and shrink it one more chunk. I like that better. Nudge it out. Control up. And then I want to have the back end have a cool little cone on it. Alright, so if we click on our pipe, we changed it to 3 for the size in each direction. So I'm going to bring out the work plane, make sure I'm on that flat piece, bring out a cone, and then 3 is a radius of 1.5. So if I press enter, you'll see that that fits exactly on that shape. If I do Shift Select, so I've got those two pieces, I can click Align, and I want to align with this one, pop, pop, and now that fits exactly right. Let's go back to this shape, and let's make the height only 5. So you can see that's shorter. And then this is where it's kind of cool. We're going to take that top radius, and instead of 1.5, we're going to make it 3. so it comes out and makes a large exhaust end. I'm going to change that instead to 2.5 and see if I like it better. And I'm going to change the height of it to 4 because I like that. And now I'm going to click just on the purple piece and let's duplicate it, which of course is Control D. And then I want this one to have a top radius of 2. So see how it's inside? And I want it to have a base radius of 1. And if I make it a hole and I group those two pieces, so I'm doing Shift and click, so now there's two shapes. If I select them, you can see that we have got a sweet exhaust that works out pretty darn neat. I'm going to make it gray as well. And then now that I've built it, I can adjust it any way I want. I'm going to shrink that down so it looks like that. And then Shift Select, and I'm going to group them. Now if you're going to have exhaust, you ought to have some flames coming out of it. And I think since I built that, I'm also going to make it a tiny bit smaller. So if I hold Shift, I can scale it down. And if I really want to be precise, I can go to 0.1 too to get that exactly as I want. And then I'm going to do the down arrow because the work plane is like that. Alright friends, we've got this sweet exhaust. Let's scoot on out to the all shapes and find some sweet flames for it. I love to use, all the way out on number 17, the Rock Mountain. I want to drop it right on this edge, so I'm going to hit work plane and I'm going to set it on that flat edge. And when you bring out the Rock Mountain, it is huge. I'm going to use fit view so we can see it all. And then I'm going to hold down Shift and I'm going to squish it till it's the size I want. And then as it gets smaller like that, I'm going to use that fit view again. And now I'm going to make it longer so it looks a little bit more flamey. I'm going to make it red. I'm going to hold Shift and squish it so it fits inside those pipes. And I'm going to do the arrow key. And I'm going to switch to my 1mm nudge. And you can see that it doesn't go all the way back. I'm going to fix that by doing Control down arrow and it moves in. I can now stretch it out and I have got nifty flames coming out of my pipes. If I switch to a smaller grid, I can align those just a little bit better. And then if I do Control D, there will be a second one and I'll make it a different color like yellow or orange. And you can see those flames start to look even a little cooler. You can just nudge them in and get them exactly the way you want. Let's set the work plane back down to the ground and let's go back to page 13 and put some sweet fins on our ride. Bring out the swept NASA and rotate it 90 degrees. And you can see it is ready to be the fin on our vehicle. I'm going to shrink it and I'm going to shrink it so it looks just like I want. And I'm going to make it that same gray color. And now I'm going to do the arrow keys, making sure I'm on the 1mm grid to get it to the location I want, and do Control up to raise it up on my vehicle. Nudge it forward, arrow keys. That is pretty darn nifty. So I'm going to do Control D to make a second one. I'm going to nudge it across. Zoom out so I can see those better. Hold down Shift and select the two of them, and I want to group them. With that shape selected, I'm going to hold Shift and select the car. Let's do a line, tell it it's the car we want to be the middle, and pop. Those fins are added. Now I just want to add a sweet spoiler. I'm going to do that back on basic shapes with the Scribble, my friends. When you bring out the Scribble, just draw as close as you can to straight. It is not easy, but it is pretty fun to make something almost instantly. I'm going to fill in that little chunk, and then I'm going to hit done, and check this out. We can rotate it 90 degrees, we can rotate it 90 degrees, and then squish it till we're happy to put it on top of our fins. Make sure my grid is at 1, and I'm going to be smart about this. I'm going to hold down Shift and click on the fins, and I want to align it to the fins, and I want it to be middle, and I want it to be top. Now from there, I'm going to just use the arrow keys to get it perfect. Control up to raise it up. I can squish and adjust however I want. I could even rotate it if for some reason I wanted a little bit different angle. I like that, but I just need to make it gray like the fins. You could also do other colors, but I think that's going to be sweet. And I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to group those. Alrighty friends, so there you have it. Our future car has been upgraded. Just some cool little things you can add to make it look more spiffy. There's lots of room for you to push this to crazy new levels. You just got to take time to figure out what you want and then use all the cool little skills I've given you to make it come to life. Friends, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you got a question, comment, or suggestion, add it down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button, and last but not least, hit that notification bell if you want to be the first to know when there's a brand new video from me, HLModTech. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.